So let's make sure your hands clap as you come.
Y'all can depend on that. Good morning, everyone. First, I want to take this opportunity to bring up our Director of Family and Community Partnership so that she can introduce herself to you and actually have our Executive Director, Ms. Cynthia Boyce, who insisted that we have this workshop. I'd like to welcome you first, Ms. Alicia.
Can't hear you.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to also thank you all for coming. It's so nice to see such a great turnout. I'd like to thank our panelists, as well as Ms. Junior, Ms. Corbett, Dr. Natalie, Mr. Smith, the whole mental health team, Ms. Buffers, for putting this together. Unfortunately, it is a serious issue that does affect our communities and our children. But hopefully, through discussions and through brainstorming, we come up with ways to address it and hopefully minimize the impact of violence on our children. So thank you again.
Hello. Hello. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all my colleagues from Family and Community Partnership for giving the refreshments. They all helped together and they all made this happen so we have food today. Give them a hand. That's what we call working together. My colleagues from Family and Community Partnership. Ms. Boyce, who's our Executive Director, came to me in June after there was violence at one of our sites in the neighborhood at 133, and with all the violence that was going on surrounding our area in Bedford-Stuyvesant, where our little scholars attend school. And she felt that we needed to talk more about how violence affects our young children and how we can minimize the impact that the violence had. So I'm going to start off today by saying when a young child is affected by violence, it hampers them in many ways. Whether it's cognitive development, whether it's social and emotional, all these things happen. And it's happening every day here in Bed-Stuy and other communities too. But today we're going to focus on the Bedford-Stuyvesant community. And I would like to start off by introducing Mr. Angelo, who's one of our partners. He directs the program that we send our children to here at Bed-Stuy when they need social and emotional assistance as well as education assistance. And he's going to talk about some of the preventive methods and also the way he and his staff work with our children in collaboration with our teachers to make sure that the children do better. I don't want to leave out anybody. We have three ed directors here. We have a director, Ms. Charles. We have another director, Mr. Tiny. And we also have our other director, all the time I'm looking at him like, Ms. McNeil. I'm another director. Give them a hand because they lead the educational component. As you know, Ms. Smith leads the components for Family and Community Partnership. We have Mr. Tina Calloway's wife, who's a supervisor. We have Ms. Monroe and all the other family workers and staff. We thank you for coming also. I want to also thank Ms. Molly for coming out and bringing out a adult literacy team. They were here first. Give them a hand. Because sometimes they don't feel they're a part of this. I'm here to tell you that you're a part of it. I'm here to tell you that I heard one of the teachers, one of the students came to me and talked to me yesterday about. I'm already working on that. I've spoken to Ms. Charles, the director. I'm going to have to speak to my director, Ms. Smith, and Ms. Boyce, to see how we can work that issue out. Because it takes a village to raise a child, it takes a community to work together. The first person I'm going to bring in front of you is Mr. Angelo. Ms. Smith already introduced the Holistic Mental Health Team. Well, the members of the Holistic Mental Health Team is Dr. Navane, our mental health consultant, Mr. Eric Smith, our Fatherhood Initiative Coordinator, Ms. Bumpers, our Disability Coordinator, Ms. Corbett, our mental health counselor, and in front of you is Ms. Junior, our social worker. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Junior. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Angelo Seconolfi, and I've been in the field of education for about 35 years now. Yeah, I see people rolling their eyes all the time. Here's the key to what I see as the solution to what is going on now. Prevention, early intervention. That's why many of you have your children in early intervention. The state has put out what they call Common Core. They have 5 domains. I'm going to talk about one today. It is the social, emotional development of children, which is part of what we teach and is part of what you do in your daily lives with your children. I'm going to go through some of these. One is self-concept and self-awareness. Children need to be aware of themselves and their environment and their feelings. One of the things it says here, a child will learn to identify self as being part of a family, a neighborhood, a community. Identifies being connected to at least one adult. There's a gentleman by the name of James Barbarino. He has the honor of going around and analyzing situations where there has been a lot of violence, like Columbine. He's written books like Lost Boys. He has found one thread among the children, and I'm calling them children, who do violence. They don't have that connection to an adult, to a higher being, to someone looking after them, someone to answer to, whether it's a religion, as I said, an adult, or you in this room can play that role. Children, adults, we all need that. Self-regulation, another thing we have our teachers teach. How they express their feelings, needs, opinions. Some children get angry and don't know how to express themselves. I was also a school principal, and teachers would battle with children in the classroom, and what they always did, until they changed this thinking, was they sent the child to the principal's office. Child comes down, I would talk to the child. Why are you here? I don't know. Did the teacher send you down? Yeah. Did you do something? No. I sent them back. A couple of days later, another teacher would do the same thing. Send the child down. Why are you here? I don't know, the teacher sent you. You don't know why you're here? No. I then had a meeting with all of the teachers. And I said to them, listen, the child needs to connect to you. Here's how we do it from now on. You're having a problem with the child, and it's usually behavioral. You need to make that connection. I will come up and teach your class. You take that child out into the hallway to another class. Make that connection, that behavioral, that social intervention. Same thing, you as adults, you parents need to do with your child, don't push them away, do not ignore them. Help them understand those feelings. Help them work through it. We as adults, let me ask you a question. Do you like when somebody acknowledges when you've done something good? When somebody says, thank you, I appreciate that? We all do. So do children. More than we realize, because sometimes they don't even understand how good that feels inside when somebody recognizes that you've done something for them. A pat on the back, a smile goes a long way with children. One of the other subcomponents is relationships with others. Develops this positive relationship with peers. And also accountability. Children and adults need to be accountable for their behavior. They need to understand that there are consequences. And adaptability changes with what's going on around them, their environment. This is taken from the State Education Department. And they now recognize that in addition to academics, the social emotional realm is real. I'm going to read a sentence here. In this increasingly globalized and shrinking world, ensuring that healthy social and emotional development of preschoolers is now more critical than ever. I have some material that I'm going to hand out, but I'm going to take a minute to kind of read a poem that I also will hand out. Many of you may have heard this before. If a child lives with criticism, he learns to condemn. If a child lives with hostility, he learns to fight. If a child lives with ridicule, he learns to be shy. We need you as parents and adults to make them open up and talk about their feelings. If a child lives with shame, he learns to feel guilty. If a child lives with tolerance, he learns to be patient. If he lives with encouragement, he learns confidence. If he lives with praise, he learns to appreciate it. If a child lives with fairness, he learns justice. If a child lives with security, he learns to have faith. If a child lives with approval, he learns to like himself, and that's what it's all about. If a child lives with acceptance and friendship, he learns to find love in the world. That's our challenge today, to teach the young how to live socially and emotionally. Thank you.
You want to ask a question now, or you want to save it for later? Okay, go ahead.
The kids didn't come back with no questions about it.
You know the answer. I think it's this. We need to get them to talk about it. You know, when you talk about Hurricane Sandy, it was unusual for all of us, and we all reacted like in shock. The violence, we see it every day, whether it's on your street corner, or in your house, or on TV, or in a movie. We become kind of hardened to it and go, okay, you know what? But we have to break that mold and say, it's not okay. Let's talk about it. Let's figure out a way to work through this. It's not normal to have this much violence, you know? And then you have governments that are in war, and all of a sudden that's okay. You know, we're teaching kind of almost a double standard here. No violence is good. No violence is good. But we have to get the children to talk about it. Get them talking.
What I want to do, guys, is that we want to hold the questions to the end, and then you can address this for them. What we want to do is hold the questions until the end, and then we can address each individual presenter. Exposure to violence, exposure to family and community violence is linked with aggression, depression, post-traumatic stress, symptoms, and academic and cognitive difficulties. Our next presenter will talk a little more to you, and maybe we'll be able to explain some of the things, some of the questions that you're asking. I bring to you Mr. Abdul Hakim with objective opinions.